Football coach. But first, it's my pleasure to introduce the chairman of our JSU Board of Trustees, Mr. Randy Jones.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Greg. And before I get started, first of all, I'd like to congratulate Coach Harper, our basketball coach and national champion basketball coach, on his 100th win this past weekend. That's his 100th win at JSU in record time. So we're looking forward to many more years of basketball right there. We have our fellow Board of Trustees here that I want to introduce right now. First, Rusty Fuller. Where's Rusty? The reason why Rusty Fuller, Rusty, you get up here, because Rusty, there's an argument about this, but he will tell you he made Ed Litt. Wait a second, the lineman over here already saying no way. But he was, being the great receiver that he was and being the slowest, fattest quarterback in the history of Jacksonville State, y'all didn't have a whole lot to work with, did you? But Rusty, thank you for what you do on this board. Drew Lynn, who is one of the powerhouses in the transportation industry in this country. He also served on the Alabama Commission of Higher Education, Tuscaloosa. Mr. Drew Lynn, thank you for everything you do. Could not thank enough words about Mr. Tony Ingram. It's nice to have a trustee member who owns a jet. So Tony, for everything you do for this school, he is a international business figure and is respected around this globe. And for him to be involved the level that he is here at JSU means a lot to this school and says a lot about this school and everyone here. So Tony, thank you so much. And we hope to be breaking ground very soon, just right over here on the Randy Owen Performing Arts Center. And I've been promised that's going to be the biggest concert in the history of the world. And he is also our longest serving trustee. And he has seen this from this coming up and this stadium and just the progress. But my dear friend is someone who is a great board member and loves this institution, Mr. Randy Owen. Thank you. So I was sitting at the last trustee meeting, and Mr. Doggett sits there and starts scribbling something. And because Clarence is just, his family's history is just enough said right there. And I wanted to make sure everyone knows this today, that Clarence scribbled out, we had 6 of our ROTC students killed in Vietnam 50 years ago. And Clarence, to honor them, made a sizable donation to name the ROTC suite offices after those 6 fallen heroes. So for that, I say thank you, Clarence Doggett. And that's just part of your board that you can rest assured. When I became chairman, we started an audit committee, and we did that with the matrix that Mr. Ingram helped put together. Greg Brown's heads up, for one reason. So when one of our students that's working right now at Jack's Hamburgers, parents say, how about the tuition money I've paid y'all? We can look at them in the face and say, we were stewards of your daughter's or son's money. And we're taking care of them. And we're making sure it's spent the right way. And that's our commitment right here as Board of Trustees. And I thank you guys for that very much. Welcome to everyone here. It's 2 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon. I should be selling insurance, and some of y'all should be out, working. But thank y'all. I think this says what this community, what it means right here, JSU to this region and to this community, and how this is going to continue to grow. I see our folks from Andrews Sports Medicine here, Ken Walker. I see Ricky Phillips from Balfour here. Thank y'all for driving up from where y'all have come. Folks from all over the Southeast are here today because this school means that we're changing lives here. 95% of our kids are working right now. This is mostly a first-generation college. I know I was, and we're changing lives. But with that, before you leave the day, drive down the street and see the new $50 million Merrill Business Center that we're going to be creating some of the finest accountants in this entire state, entire region, marketing people, graphic arts people, applied engineers. So we're doing that right there. We have a new nursing school, one campus. And actually, Bill Lester's here. Bill will tell you he needs nurses. He needs nurses. And we're going to bring him the finest trained nurses because we have now top of the level, top of the shelf technology in our nursing program. And we're so proud to have that. It's going to be on one campus being done right now. Also, with that, I want you to look outside. And I want you to realize 2.5 years from now, you're going to have a $95 million, 300,000 square foot building right there. Now, this is going to be right here, above the stands, are going to be 350 dorm rooms. And they're coming right now for paying off of campus. So we're bringing those kids back, our students, excuse me, we can't call them kids, students, bringing them back onto campus. It's 350 dorm rooms right here. In the corner right here, a $65,000 square foot dining facility. And our friends at Sedesco, we did a 20-year contract with them. Again, your board at work, and they're going to be giving us a $27 million donation over the next 20 years. And then next to that's going to be a new athletic building right there that we've already decided we're going to blame our new coach for any overruns on that. So he's already the scapegoat on that. So, but think about it. And we did that before this Whirlwind Month. And the Whirlwind Month, what I mean by that, we already had this in plans. FBS, Brian Young had sent me a note about FBS, and we don't have an interest in that. Next thing I know, Wednesday a month ago, Mr. Ingram sends me a note, and Greg calls and says, Conference USA gave us a call. They want to come see our facilities. On Wednesday, they're here and extend us an invitation for us to join Conference USA. Going FBS for this school, for this region, for this community, for our students, and for everyone here in business, it's going to be a game changer. It's going to be a game changer for this entire area, Gaston, Anniston, Ohatchee, you name it, Rome, Georgia, right there. And one person that you should be smiling about this is the Mayor, Jimmy Smith from Jacksonville, Alabama. Jimmy, stand up, please, Mayor. Thank you. But this school has, if you just look on the pictures around the walls that Greg Morrow supplied for us, you see we have a Masters champion. We have somebody was on the Olympic rifle team this year. We had the lowest score in history of NCAA golf, tied for one of the lowest scores there. So we have a lot of history here. We have a lot of great support. We have a lot of great people. This school means a lot to me because I worked and dug ditches during the day at the Gaston Mall and went to school at night. I am the story of most of our students, and that's why we're here today. But we're here also to provide them a great experience to make this community, make JSU even more impactful than it is. And with that, 2 years ago, I'm going to tell the story real quick. We had a management team in place. I went to a faculty dining, or a faculty Christmas party, the largest one that they ever had. Don, at that time, had been named interim president. And I can tell you, we had no intention of hiring Don Killingsworth as our new president. So there I was with him, 900 people there, and they introduced Don Killingsworth. You know what happened? The entire place stood up. The entire place gave him a standing ovation. I think I called Mr. Owen, Mr. Ingram, and I said, we're onto something here. And were we ever? We're very fortunate to have, as our president, a great leader, someone who has the vision to make all this happen, that's going to benefit every person in this room, Mr. Don Killingsworth.
He was on a roll. I mean, he did half my speech, so it's okay. Wow, what a great day to be at JSU, and a great day for Gamecock athletics. If you don't think athletics are important to any university, just let me hold a colloquium on geography and see if we get this type of crowd out to it. You can tell that athletics are very important. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, trustees. Mr. Kinnemer, trustee emeritus, thank you for being here. Mayor Smith, thank you to the city for the partnership that you have, and all the people here that mean so much to this university. What a great day for JSU. Competing in football, 118 years. We've been at this 118 years, and we're ready to make some new records. Since 1904, over our history, we've won 24 conference championships and won national championship in Division II. At JSU, we are committed to excellence in athletics, and we do feel that this hire will continue that foundation of excellence that is expected here at JSU. Moving forward with a winning attitude, our expectations are not changing as we move to Conference USA, as the chairman mentioned, and FBS football. We want to continue to be competitive and compete for the championships and go to bowl games. As you have heard, we do have a lot of exciting things that are going on campus, like the new facility that will be here in 2.5 years, a short 2.5 years. And with this coaching hire, that's another step towards that commitment. It just so happens I would not be doing my job. Today is JSU, or the National Giving Day. So please go to jsu.edu/giving and help us out with the hire, the conference, and the new facility. How about that? Let's go out there. If not, see Ed Lett. He'll be happy to make that check out for you. I do want to thank Johnny Williams and the help for this hire. He a great friend to this institution. Johnny is well known in this state. He ran this search with our athletic director extremely well. And Johnny, we thank you. Where are you, Johnny? Thank you, Johnny, for your help in all this. And finally, before y'all are not here to hear me speak, we're here to hear Coach Rodriguez. I do want to welcome the family of Coach Rodriguez to our Gamecock family. Wife, please stand as you call. Wife Rita. Daughter Raquel. And son Rhett. We wholeheartedly welcome y'all to the Gamecock family. And with that, I will turn it back over to our athletic director. Thank y'all for being here today.
Thank you, President Killingsworth. You know, first, I'd also like to thank our student athletes. Many of them are joining us there in the back of the room today. You know, a coaching transition is never easy on anyone, but especially our student athletes. So I really appreciate your maturity during this process. And I said many times, it's not about the athletic directors or staff members or coaches. It's about our student athletes and providing them with a great experience. So thank you guys for all that you do for us. You know, I want everyone to know what an exciting search this was. We had over 100 applicants that wanted to be the head football coach here at Jacksonville State. We had many very highly qualified individuals that ranged from current and former head coaches, current and former assistant coaches, ranging from Power 5 conferences down to very successful Division II and Division III head coaches, as well as some of the top high school coaches in the Southeast. Throughout the process, I kept hearing over and over how great the athletic teams are here at Jacksonville State and how successful our athletic program is. People in college athletics and coaching circles are excited about what's going on here at Jacksonville State, and that's a testament and reflection of the culture that has been established throughout our entire athletic department, and it's a true tip of the hat to our coaches, staff, and student athletes for that. So we're excited about the recent announcement of moving up to the football program to FBS and joining Conference USA in the fall of 2023. That's beginning a new chapter in our athletic history, but also the announcement today, certainly it changed the caliber of the candidate that we were able to attract to be our next head football coach. When we began the search for our next football coach, we were looking for a coach that had a winning record, knows how to be successful on the field and also in the classroom. We were looking for someone with head coaching experience, someone who could recruit top talent, someone who had coached at the highest level, someone who could relate to our community, and someone who has a desire and passion for making a difference in the lives of our student athletes. I'm excited to stand before you today to let you know that we have found all of those characteristics and then some in Coach Rich Rodriguez. He's a winner. He has proven that at every stop he has made in his 30-plus years of college coaching experience. The more that I talked with Coach Rod, the more impressed I became with him and his passion for wanting to become our head coach and how connected he is across the country. He certainly has the resume, and he checked all of the boxes for Jacksonville State as we're looking for our new coach. He served as the head coach at 5 institutions, including the University of West Virginia, the University of Michigan, and the University of Arizona, leading those teams to 11 bowl games. He has more than 160 career wins and more than 24 years as a head coach, and that includes 8 conference championships, 5 Conference Coach of the Year honors, and also been selected as the National Coach of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and pleasure to present the new football coach at Jacksonville State, Coach Rich Rodriguez. Coach.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. I hope you're still standing in 9 months. That is terrific. So excited to be here, and I really appreciate the warm welcome over the past 24 hours or so that I've been here. Got a chance to meet with the team last night and meeting so many folks, and we'll meet so many more folks in the coming months. But I do want to introduce my family again. I appreciate everybody that's here, and the board, President, the administration, and certainly Greg and Johnny for allowing me to have this opportunity. But a little bit about my family. Probably obviously the king of the household. And not only this, she's not just a coach's wife that understands anything and everything, but she gets fully invested into everything about the program and always has. And as you can tell, I can recruit. Stand up, Rita, my wife Rita. So she's there. And then my daughter, who's working in the business, she's worked behind a camera doing some of the media work, but she's also done a lot of athletic work, and tickled to death. She's the same way, and obviously she has her mom's genes. My daughter Raquel, right there. And then my son, who I signed with at Arizona way back 2017, only got a chance to coach him for one fall, and then he was the only backup second-team quarterback in the country that did not go in the transfer portal, I think, for 3 years. And then was able to enjoy this past year with him as a starting quarterback at Monroe, and just did a tremendous job. And by the way, and Mom makes me sure too, he's got a 4.3 GPA. He's never made a B. Already got a master's degree, and I hope he wants to get into coaching. My son, Rhett, right there. Then I brought my 2 little puppies, too, Rambo and Roxy. But Rambo's not good in a crowd, so the 2 little Pomeranians, you'd think I'm soft if you saw them, so I better not bring them out. But this is a great day for me. I am so honored and humbled to be your next head football coach. You've had great success here in the past. Coach Gross had great success. You have good players. You've always had good players. You have a great environment. I'm anxious to watch our band, all 498 members, to do that. And I know football and athletics is important. And what I got sold on it from Johnny and Greg and for everybody I talked to was not just the vision of the new facility, which, by the way, is going to be fantastic. And I'm pretty good at spending money, too. My wife is better than I am, but I'm pretty good at it. But to have a chance to see that come to fruition, and as we transition from, I still call it 1AA, from FCS to FBS, is really exciting. And I know it's exciting for the players. We talked about it briefly last night and with some of the guys that came to see me today in the office. I think it's a great time to be here. And look at I've done this at a few places. I've been fortunate, been around a little bit, and this is a good crowd for an opening announcement of a head coach as I've been at. So maybe you thought you were getting free tickets or something. I ain't got nothing to do with that just yet. But it's really it makes me feel good. I know that there's a passion for athletics, a passion for football, and you're looking forward, as I am, to what's going to happen here over the next 12 months, but also in the next, hopefully, 10 to 12 years. I have been blessed throughout my career to be able to make some really neat places call home. West Virginia is where I kind of grew up. It's very similar, I think, in nature to the landscape here. Was able to coach at a couple places. But I've also learned a little bit. Sometimes, I say this all the time, sometimes coaches brag about they got 20 years or 30 years of experience. But if all you did was the same thing every year and you never learned or grew, all you have is 1 year experience repeated 30 times. I like to think that every year I've coached and been involved in it, 30-some years, I've gotten better. This year may have been the year I learned the most and grew the most, and not just because I was in a little bit of a tougher situation at Monroe. We took over a program that was 0-10, but also because my son was on the team. And I didn't try to put him in bad spots, but I learned a lot as a head coach when your son is playing for you. You know, kind of like, what are the players thinking about? What do they like about this? And some of the things I probably thought I knew, I didn't know, but some of the things I thought were right on mark. And so I think I've grown and learned. So I'm here to probably tell you today that I think I'm going to be a better coach today and next year than I was back in those other years. Now, don't hold me to winning national championships just yet, you know, but we're going to build the best football program, I think, in the country. Now, I think we're moving, and we've got a lot of things to do to get to that place, but I think the attitude's going to be there. I know the guys will work hard. And my goal, overriding goal, other than winning championships, because winning's important, trust me. I know how coaches keep their jobs, and, you know, you raise more money, your enrollment goes up, and all that good stuff when you win. But my overriding goal for our players would be that, I told them this last night, is that when they're done playing 10 or 15 or 20 years from now, and they call me on the phone or I see them, and they say, Coach, if I could do it all over again, all right, I'd do it all over again with the same place, with the same people, then we did our jobs as coaches. And that's as far as an experience standpoint, that's our number one goal as coaches. That and win so you all are happy. And so you're not introducing another guy up here in a few years. But there's been so many things that's been happening in college football over the last few years that maybe the goalposts have kind of shifted or moved a little bit. And as coaches, we got to be aware of that. We got to have a staff that's aware of it. And our goal is to bring the best student athletes we can to Jacksonville State and to develop them better than anybody in the country. Those are our two main goals, and that will never change. And if we do that, we'll have success. We'll win championships. We'll go to bowl games, and everybody will be happy. And so every day I'll wake up, I'll think about that. Every time when I go home before I go to sleep, I'll think about that. My family's used to being, me and us, I should say, being obsessed with our job and what we got to do. And I'm not looking for the next thing. I've been there, done that. I think some of the most memorable moments in my coaching career was when I was at Glenville State College, which was a little Division II school in the early 90s. And building that program up and seeing it, you know, compete for championships, win championships and all that are probably still our greatest memories. So, and this is obviously way further above that, but it's the same kind of challenge from taking it where we're at FCS to FBS to where it's going to be a national brand. And I know what that can do for the school, and you have my word that myself and my staff, my family, will all give you everything we have every single day. And regarding the staff, I've got I probably had more than 100 people call or text or whatever, but there's a lot of people that want to come here. And some of them are from or had ties in the state of Alabama, some haven't. But I'll be able to put a great staff, an unbelievable staff together. In fact, hopefully by Christmas, we'll have most of the staff. There'll be some names on there that you recognize. But I may have one or two spots still that I keep and wait until January to do. But we're going to hit the ground running. We're going to work as hard as we can. We want to enjoy doing it. You know, sometimes I probably have never stopped to smell the roses, what have you, throughout my coaching career. And my wife has said, maybe you need to kind of maybe just enjoy it a little bit more. As I look angry sometimes on TV, and I forget the cameras are on me, and I need to put that call sheet above me, you know, and I've gotten teased about a little bit. So I need to learn a little better. And I have cussed too much. I have very limited vocabulary. So I majored in PE, not in English, but I got to get better with that. So you know, I'll get better with that, and I'll cover my mouth. But there will be a lot of passion. And I think my goal is when you're sitting out there, as I always said this, whether it's playing in a big house against Ohio State or going West Virginia against Pitt or wherever rivalries and big stages you've been in, I said, I know people can sit in the stands and watch a team and see if they're playing with passion and playing hard. They may not know the X's and O's and all that kind of stuff, but they can see if a team is truly playing hard and playing their guts out for the program and for the university. All right, that part, to me, is coaching. And that's something that I can, a lot of coaches don't want to make promises and all that, but you will see guys playing hard. You'll see guys playing with passion. And you'll see guys that care about Jacksonville State University. So that's why I'm so tickled to be here. Everybody I met has been so nice, and I know we're still undefeated, right? And we'll be so for the next 8 months. But we're gonna have a great time doing it, and we'll be accessible as much as I can be. If you reach out to me and I don't get right back to you, it's probably because I'm either talking to one of my players, or talking to one of my coaches, or talking to a recruit. So I'll get back with you as soon as I can. So with that, again, I'm honored. This is a great, humbling experience for me. I am excited. I know our staff is going to be excited to be here. My family's excited. I think my wife's going to actually be looking at houses tomorrow morning. And so we're tickled to death to be part of your community. And I really thank you for welcoming myself and my family and our new coaches when they get here as well to Jacksonville State University. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, Coach, I think we're going to take a few questions from the media. So Josh has got the handheld. So.
Miss Pell, I want to say hello to Miss Pell. I am so excited for you to get a chance to talk with Miss Rita. You can have so many stories you can share. So how about a round of applause for Miss Pell? Stand up, please. Thank you. Sorry.
No problem. Coach Rodriguez, are you looking at this job as the last one you want to take in your career?
That's a great question. Absolutely. If you will sign me to a lifetime contract, it doesn't say lifetime. Let me work on that with Greg. But that's a good question. There's so many things, crazy things going on in football. You know, coaches say, well, never say never, never say never. And I've always said this, and this sounds like coach speak. I tell young coaches all the time when they're looking to move up, you take every job and treat it as if it's the last job you'll ever have, because it might be. And that's what I'm doing. The difference is for me, I've had that. I've had the big ones and enjoyed that and all that. And now, again, if you put a 10-year contract in front of me, old Coach Rod's going to sign it, just so you know. It might not be 10 years for $110 million, but nonetheless, I understand your question.
How has coaching Rhett grown or expanded your understanding about how to relate to players?
Yeah, that's great. As I alluded to earlier, when I first signed him in 2017, I only had a few months with Rhett there, and I was at a head coach role, and so I didn't spend as much time with him during the season. But this year, you know, I was a quarterback coach and a coordinator, and he was our starting quarterback. So we spent a whole lot of time together. But and I tried not to put him in an uncomfortable spot, like saying, okay, what do the players think about that? Because he didn't want to be like the guy that tells on anybody. So I didn't ask him those kind of questions, but I asked him kind of questions of what's really important to the players. And he saw, you know, Rhett's more analytical and a lot smarter than I am anyway, but I didn't make all A's. I made a few A's. But he said, you don't waste their time and always be honest with them. And that honesty part, and I talked to the players a little bit about that last night and today. Some of the guys came to see me. That honesty part is really, you'd think players wouldn't want to know, hey, I didn't do this good, or I didn't do this good, or I'm third team, or I'm this or that. But they want the honest truth. If you tell them the honest truth where they're at, they can deal with it. I had 10 quarterbacks this past year at Monroe, 10. And most people carry 4 or 5. And people say, why'd you carry 10? I said, well, I got to find 2 that can play. My odds are better with 10 than they are with 5, right? But by having that room, none of them left. They all had a great attitude and did a great job all year because I was honest and truthful with them every week where they stood. And we called that the truth room. And I said, listen, if you're not playing good, if you make a bad play, I'm going to tell you, hey, that was awful. And I said, if I make a bad play call, you could say, that was awful. Now, they didn't do that too much. I think Rhett did it one time. Said, Dad, that wasn't a very good call. But I did learn a lot from that standpoint. And Rhett's helped me make myself a better coach. And that's why I think he hasn't committed to coaching yet to JSU. Before he leaves tonight, you guys got to convince him to be a coach at Jacksonville State University. I'm just telling you right now. But I've learned a lot from that standpoint.
Yeah, Coach, what was the meeting like with the players yesterday?
It was good. I mean, I wish we had some – I didn't really give – I should have, if I had thought about it better, I would have had some more time for question and answer and all that. Usually guys just want to get in and get out, and meet the coach. So it was a short meeting. Again, I don't want to waste their time. And then I had probably 20 guys come by today and get to know them a little bit. And that's my goal. I didn't recruit these guys. I don't know a lot of them. Most of them I don't know, but I want to. And I want our staff to get to not just who they are as players, but where they're from, what their family's about, and said it'll take a little bit of time. And what I told them is, change is hard, especially when you're at that age, but change is also inevitable. When you go through life, you're going to have a lot of changes, and so how you respond to it is usually going to determine your success. And I think our guys will respond. They're used to winning. They're used to having a program that people care about, and we're going to try to amplify that anymore. And they've been, for 12 hours, it's been good. But they'll enjoy the staff, and they'll work hard. They'll work harder than they've ever worked before. I don't mind you telling them. And some coaches say that, but don't follow. Trust me, they'll work harder than they've ever worked before, but they'll feel more rewarded than they've ever been as well. So it'll be good.
Hey, Coach, back here if you see me.
Yes.
So I wanted to ask you, with some time off from a head coaching role, you kind of noted on some of the things you learned, but what's the biggest learning lesson that you're taking in as you step back into a head coach role here? It's
sometimes you're a head coach, and most of my career, 24 years, has been a head coach. You think you communicate well with your staff, and your players and your anybody involved in your program, but the reality is you get so busy you probably don't communicate as well as assistants do. The assistant coaches kind of, they'll huddle around and meet down things, and so you don't. I like to have. I think one way to make those long days, those long weeks of being a coach and all the time, I try to make it a little bit more fun by having humor. I mean, some coaches are so wound tight that they won't laugh or joke. Now, I'll get angry if things aren't going well. But I like to laugh as well. We like to tell stories and all that. So I learned as being assistant coaches that those assistant coaches, for those long hours, that makes everything so much better when you're able to laugh a little bit, make fun of each other, and do that. In the same way with the players. I mean, the players, it's going to be serious business and all that, but dang, they need to have some fun. They put in too much work not to have a little bit of fun, a little bit of levity. So, learning the last 4 years, I said, the more we can do that, and the more you're engaged with coaches and players and enjoying the atmosphere with each other, the better off you're going to be.
Hey, Coach. So I'm working on an article about student responses and reactions to you being hired as head coach, and a lot of the concern has been a rocky kind of transition period for the first few years as you head coach. What can you say to kind of quell those kind of concerns? Yeah,
let me think. Rocky. Yeah, I think at Glenville State, I took over. They were 0-10. I know this would be a long answer to a very good question. I took over. That was the best program in America to take over at Glenville State because they were 0-10 the year before and got shut out 7 times and only scored 20 points the whole year. So when my first game there, we got a first down on the first play. I got a standing ovation. I'm like, hell, I ain't never leaving. This place is beautiful. So I stayed there 7 years. So that was, and we won 1 game, which was the best coaching job of my life. We went 1-7-1, I think. And then my transition to, what was the next one, would have been West Virginia. And that was our home school, coming back. That was unique, going back to home school. And I think we won 3 the first year, but then won 9 the second. That was good because I was from West Virginia the first year. Then we lost 3, and I was kind of not from West Virginia. And then after we won 9, I was a homeboy again. So that was good. And then Michigan, don't get me started on Michigan. But, yeah, that one there, it was a little more difficult, I think, than I thought coming into it. You wouldn't expect it. But we thought we had it going in the 3rd year and got everybody coming back. We didn't see the 4th year. But Arizona was good. I think we won the bowl the first year. So, I don't know what we have coming back as far as players relating to our schedule. I just learned our schedule last night. I'm learning our players. But I know we got good players. And guys that won, you beat Florida State this year at Florida State. I mean, that's huge. So you got players. And I think our guys are hungry. And I will say this, if we do our job as coaches, which we got to do, and our players will work like I think they'll work to get better, and we add some pieces through recruiting, you're going to be very pleased with the product very early on. That's a political answer, isn't it? That's it. That's good.
We got one more here.
You've coached at the highest level of college football. You're taking over a program that wants to get a step up closer to that. What's the transition going to be like? What can you brace JSU people for?
Yeah, I think that maybe one of the benefit that I can bring and some of the guys on our staff can bring is that we know what that looks like at the Division 1A level and at the Power 5 level. and hadn't been in a Monroe last year, what that's supposed to look like at the Group of 5 level. So I think I have a vision for that. I think certainly the facilities and what's getting built here over the next 18 to 24 months is a huge part of it. I think players and recruits will see that there's a commitment. And every coach will tell you, that people want commitment from coaches, and they should. They want commitments from players, and they should. But coaches and players want commitments from universities and schools, and we have that. And I can tell you right now, the biggest selling point we have is not just the facilities, but look where the enrollment's going. Look how aggressive our school's going as far as facilities, the student enrollment, the things we're doing. Your administration, your board is all in, not just on athletics, but in the university as a whole. And if you're part of that, and we do our job, you're going to have success. And that's where you want. You want to go somewhere where everything is kind of going this way, not kind of this, and certainly not that. At JSU, we're going here. And I felt that from the first time I talked with Johnny and Greg, and I feel that even more so right now.
Thank you, Coach. And if we have any more, Coach will be available. We'll have a stand-up over here when we get done, okay?
Well, thank you all very much. Very, very humble. Thank you.
All right, I thank everyone for coming today. One final thing, Mr. President, if you would come, we've got some gifts that we'd like to make to the family, so they're just right around the corner. So, Ms. Rita, if you would come over and see the President. Okay, Raquel, next. Raquel. And Rhett. Hey, I heard that. Good. Again, welcome to the JSU family. We're so happy that you're here. I'm just blown away by the attendance today. I want to thank everyone. And as the president said, it is Giving Day, jsu.edu/giving. So give it to the football program. So thanks again. Thanks so much for coming.
Please, thank you.
And that was the introductory press conference for new Jacksonville State University head football coach Rich Rodriguez, as he will be taking over the Gamecocks program. Again, we do have a little bit of background information on head coach Rodriguez over on our website, cbs42.com. If you're watching us on Facebook, you can actually click that link in the description and comments section, and you will be able to find out more about Rich Rodriguez, including his stops at Michigan, Arizona, as well as West Virginia, where he was actually named College Football Coach of the Year. So definitely a very big get for the Jacksonville State program, somebody with a lot of experience, especially at the high level, coaching Michigan, as well as some of these other FBS programs. Jacksonville State, of course, being an FCS team at this time, but will be moving up to the FBS ranks after joining the Conference USA division. They will be moving to FBS starting in 2023. So definitely a lot to look forward to for Jacksonville State. And again, they did pull off that pretty big upset on that last second Hail Mary throw against Florida State, as we heard from many members of the Jacksonville State family in this press conference as well. So it's all up and up for the Gamecocks. Looking forward. Again, that will do it for us today on this latest edition of CBS 42 Now. I'm Phil Pinarski, and I want to thank you all so much for tuning in, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.